The more life you experience, the more you will find yourself in circumstances that were never part of your original plan. And that's not a failing on your part. You just can't insulate yourself from life. Life happens, and then you have a choice. Are you going to make the most of it, or are you going to succumb to the victim mentality? I didn't choose this, I have no power. That's gonna make you a really angry person. And then here's the progression. You go from being angry to being resentful, to being dissatisfied with life, to being disillusioned, to then stagnating, to then being bitter, and then being vengeful. Choosing to be a victim is one of the greatest acts of self-hatred that you could ever do for yourself. But conversely, choosing to make the most of your circumstances is the greatest act of self-love that you could ever do. And it's a choice that makes you strong. So in this tapping session, you are going to make the most of circumstances you did not choose. You're going to choose to be strong. Rank it on a scale of 0 to 10, how intensely you're feeling about the circumstances that you did not choose. And just take a mental note of that. All right, now, deep breath. Even though I did not choose to be in these circumstances, I fully love and accept myself. Even though I did not choose to be in these circumstances, I fully love and accept myself. Even though I did not fully choose to be in these circumstances, I love and accept myself. And I may even be willing to accept anyone else involved in the situations that I'm dealing with. Feeling so angry. I'm really angry and resentful of all the factors that led me to being in these circumstances that I did not voluntarily choose to be in. I feel angry and victimized by my circumstances because I do not want to be here. I would not have chosen for my life to be like this. And yet, here I am in circumstances that I feel forced to deal with. I feel angry and resentful because those emotions feel safer than feeling disillusioned and sad. I'm feeling disillusioned and sad, and that makes me feel vulnerable. And being in these circumstances that I did not fully choose makes me feel vulnerable. And I feel sad. I'm sad because I'm grieving a life that I would have wanted more than this. But this is what my life is now. I hate that this is what it is. That hatred and that anger is just a protection for me to not feel this vulnerability and sadness because I don't feel well. The sadness doesn't feel good. But neither does the anger. But I'm going to choose to move past it all. Because I can see that the anger is keeping me stuck. It's causing me to be resentful and vengeful and bitter. And that's no good. Not for me or anyone else involved. Even though I'm angry and sad and resentful and disillusioned, I'm going to choose to move through it. Because all of these emotions, this emotional response, it's shoving me into a mentality, and that's not healthy. Living in a victim mentality is going to rob me of my whole life. Even though I did not choose these circumstances, I can choose to reclaim my agency. I can't control what I'm in right now, but I can control where I go from here. At least I can control my attitude. And I can control my perceptions. And I can control the decisions I make. And I can control how strong I want to choose to be. Because being joyful when things are ideal isn't really true strength. That comes pretty naturally to me. But right now, my life isn't entirely ideal. And so I can exercise strength by choosing to be responsible and reclaim my agency throughout the situation. I am not going to be a victim of my circumstances. No matter how off course I feel like my life has gone, it's not too late for me to start turning the steering wheel and getting my life and myself back on track. So I'm going to choose to make a massive pivot. I'm going to choose to see the blessing in the situation. I'm going to choose to see the blessings in my situation. And I'm going to choose to appreciate them and feel grateful. Not just for the external things in my life, but I am especially grateful. But I'm especially going to choose to feel grateful for the awareness that I have to pivot my perspective right now and make this a major turning point in my life's story. I'm going to choose to feel grateful that I have the mental wherewithal to choose to be strong. I'm going to feel grateful that I'm going to choose not to succumb to a pathetic, stupid, whiny little victim mentality. Even though I don't feel good about my circumstances, I am going to choose to reassure myself. And I'm going to choose to be okay. Because I reject and I refuse to take on a victim mindset. No matter how dull the outlook and how bad things are, I know that I can always choose to look for the blessings. So I'm going to take a moment to breathe in all this gratitude I have for my blessings. I will look back on this time and feel grateful for elements that I'm not even aware of or noticing right now. Hasn't that always been true? There have always been small pearls of nostalgia, even in my most difficult moments. So I'm going to choose to let this pain pass away. I'm not going to let it stick to me. This circumstance that I did not choose, It's not going to hinder my psychological development. It's not going to rob me of my growth. It's not going to hijack my personal development or the course that my life is going to take. Yes, I am dealing with these circumstances. No, I did not choose for my life to be like this. And yet, I am going to thrive nonetheless. Because that is who I am. And that is what I do. I am someone who always grows, even if it takes a while for me to sprout. I always do eventually sprout and flourish. I've done this before, and I'm going to do it again. And nothing in life is ever going to stop me, because that is who I am. I am the beautiful power. I am the beautiful, powerful, and quintessentially human spirit of persistence. I am embodying the most gorgeous and beautiful of human consciousness. And that is the consciousness to endure and to persevere and to grow and to evolve and to burst out in outstanding celebratory joy. Joy of life with gratitude for everything. Deep breath. Now we're going to do the control save body talk. Open palm, base of your head. Tap, tap, tap. Tap on your heart space. We do it twice. And we advance the position. It's kind of like being on your computer and hitting control save for all the changes you just made. Going the entire length of our brain. Deep inhale and exhale. Now, this new identity, this new strength, and hopefully this new optimism, you're really going to notice it settle in over the next few days. So I hope you do come back and share what your experience is, because I am so curious to hear from you. But even if you don't feel like sharing and you just want to hold that in your heart, I love you. You are not your circumstances. I'm proud of you. And I'm so excited, grateful, looking forward to your life being better.